choose sitting on my heels today, but there's a lot of different options. In front of you, whatever that seat and shape may be, go ahead and pick that now. And then start to settle in. I like to just take a few exploratory movements. I've drank a lot of coffee today. I don't know about you. If you're sitting at home and working, you tend to just keep drinking coffee. So really like just need to get those fidgety movements out and take a big breath in through the mouth and out through the mouth. We'll take 2 more just like that. Feel free to audibly exhale. When we're in class and we do this, it can feel a little bit uncomfortable. But since we're in our own homes, maybe even let out a little noise with that breath. Continuing to breathe and bring that breath in and out through the nose. So let the lips gently come together and let the tongue come from the top of the mouth to rest. And just notice your breath in and out through the nose. Notice with each breath this sense of calming that comes over the body and the mind and allows us to want to become closer to that breath. It allows us to want to increase the effort to not only feel this breath in and out through the nose, but hear it. And let this breath continue to move in and out through the nose, sounding like the ocean waves rolling over the sand. We'll take 3 more deep breaths in through the nose. Or exhaling, letting that body become more soft, still. 2 more. One more, intentional, with lots of effort, with movement, with the hearing of your breath. Fill up the spaces. Inhale big. And exhale, soften, release. If your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes. We're going to inhale our arms up and over our heads, reach and stretch. Exhale, pull the elbows into our sides, open up through the collarbones and the chest. In this shape, see if you can press your arms actively against this imaginary wall as you ground through the hips and pull the top of the head up strong. Pull the belly button towards the back of that low back. So really strong posture here. Like Lori requested, we're opening up through that heart space, kind of opposite of that shape we've been taking over our computers. One more big intentional breath, opening up. Exhale, release the arms down. Move with the hands on the wrist. Pick a direction and make these movements big. So as you articulate the hands around the wrist, see if you can go side to side with as much range of motion as possible, just as much as you go up and down. We tend to just go up and down. See if you can really get that sideways motion. So we're getting full circles here. And then switch the direction of those circles. And then we'll let the arms come to rest. We'll come up big, inhale up. This time, interlace all 10 fingers at the top. And as you interlace all 10 fingers, push the palms up towards the sky. Little extra length in the body here. Feel the arms hover around the ears as you actively reach the arms, the palms up to the sky and ground through the hips. One more big inhale to lengthen. Exhale to tuck the chin, round through the back. So it's almost like a cat-cow pose. We're coming forward with the palms. So we're tucking the chin, looking towards the heart, and then reaching the palms out in front of us. Little arching and rounding of the back here. On an inhale, arch and look up. Reach through the hips, reach the press and palms towards the sky. Big inhale. And then exhale, tuck and round. Push the palms away from you. Feel a stretch in the upper back, so in those shoulder blades. With your inhale, reach and stretch and come up. Lengthen, open up, draw the shoulders back, and then exhale, tuck and round and move away. And then on an inhale, just release the body into a neutral position. And we're gonna come on all fours for a second. So come all the way up onto all fours. We're gonna move through those wrists as Renee requested. So pressing into the palms to start, I want us to just trace some circles. So we're tracing circles into the fingers and then letting the hips come back down towards the heels. So we're not necessarily going all the way back down. We're really putting some pressure into the knuckles, into the hands, just moving into those wrists. And then switch directions. See if you can almost just push all the way into the tips of your fingers. And then pause, neutral position. We're gonna turn the palms opposite. So the fingers are gonna face towards your knees. And then same thing, pick a direction. We're just opening up through those hands. As we type on our computers for most of the day, our hands are kind of just like in this cupped position. So let's really stretch through those digits into the wrist and the palms. And then rotate opposite direction, pushing back into the tops of the fingers, into the bottoms of the palms. And then come to a neutral position. We're gonna do one more. This time palms are gonna face in and we're gonna press down like this. So light pressure, thinking about really pushing more of your weight back into your hips here rather than down into your hands. So a light pressure in the back of those palms. And then just gentle circles, just creating some movement within the wrist joint. Being light in the fingers here as the palms face up to your face. And reverse, pick opposite circles. And then we'll set the hips back. We'll come all the way back to where we were before. So we're gonna be on our heels here. If you're not already there, just make your way there. And this time we're gonna come up with our hands. We're gonna rise up into a kneeling position. So use your hamstrings and your glutes. Squeeze your glutes here. Find strength through the back of those hamstrings. Big stretch up. You got it. And then exhale off to your right. So just a little side bend here. Use your core strength to pull your belly button up and back. And then arms are, I like to say we're holding this imaginary beach ball. So let's just pretend we're at the beach. And we're squeezing that beach ball. Feel a little rumbling in our core, actively holding us up. With an inhale, take it up over through center, reach over to your left. Side bend, lift up and out of the hips, lengthen through that whole right side body. Continue to push through the back of the shins and the tops of the feet for that support. And then inhale, take it back. Interlace all 10 fingers, take the palms up to the sky, just like we did before. So big reach and stretch, palms up to the sky. And then an exhale, come forward, let the hips come down with you, coming into that rounded position. Tuck the chin, the chest. Breathe through the upper back. And then an inhale, one more just like this. Use your hamstrings, push up into that kneeling position, squeeze the glutes all the way up, reach and stretch, take your gaze up to the sky, and then exhale off to the right. So this time our palms are together, a little bit harder on those shoulders. If you want to take the palms apart, you can. Inhale up through center, exhale off to your left. Inhale up through center. Exhale, bringing it down, rounding one last time here. Hips are coming down. We're pushing the palms away, stretching through that upper back. And then an exhale, release the palms. We'll come to neutral tabletop and we'll tuck the toes. We're gonna shift back. You're gonna find your down dog. So hips come up and back in our down dog. And let's walk our dogs pedaling in through right and left heels. Head comes between the arms. We're really shooting our hips up and back here. And feel some breath and length into the back of those legs. See if you can let your head hang heavy. And then equal pressure in the palms, the digits, all the way into the tops of the fingers, just like we practice in our tabletop. And from down dog, we're gonna push that right leg up to fly. So take that right leg up to fly. Keep the hips square, toes pointed towards the shin. And then come onto the left toes, a little stretch into those left toes. Exhale, take the left heel down. One more just like that, into the left toes. Left heel comes down. And then take that right leg down. We'll go second side. Inhale, float the left leg up. Keep the toes, hips, and shoulders square. Really reach actively through that left heel. And then inhale, come up onto the right toes. Breathe into the right toe creases. Exhale, take that right heel down. One more, inhale, up onto the right toe creases. Exhale, drive that right heel down. And then take the left leg down, down dog. Bend the knees, walk the hands towards the feet and the feet towards the hands. Come into a forward fold. Forward fold, let the head hang heavy. Arms can dangle at the sides. You might take opposite elbows. Just a little bit of a sway. Finding the support that's needed, you might take your hands up to your thighs for a little bit higher heart. If you're feeling lightheaded or anything at all, you can come higher here. So finding that forward fold, breathing into the back of the body. Releasing the bind with the arms if you have one, and inhale, halfway lift. So take the hands to the shins and let that back be really strong. Exhale, come down. One more just like that. Inhale, draw the shoulders down and back towards the hips, long, flat back. Exhale, top of the head towards the toes. Reverse, swan dive, press through the feet. We're coming all the way up to stand, pressing through the feet. Arms rise up over the head. Interlace all 10 fingers, releasing the digit fingers. Big stretch. And an exhale, come to your right. As we come to the right, if this is too much on your shoulders, you might take the arm down. Otherwise, if you want to practice just a little bit more openness through the collarbones, keep them together. And you're really pulling the armpits away from you as you reach the fingertips up and then ground through that left foot. Continue to breathe in this side bend, finding length on the left side body. One more big inhale, and with that inhale, take it all the way up through center. Exhale, come off to the left. Same points of movement here, so you really want to continue to open up through the front rather than cave through the front. So remain open, keep grounding through the feet, legs are strong here. Big inhale, send it all the way up. And then exhale, draw the elbows into the side. So just like we did in that seated position, we're really driving the arms back against that wall, opening up through the chest. Good. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, open it up. This is number 2. We're gonna do 3 of them. Make it more open with every single one, legs active with every single one. Inhale, take it up. Beautiful. Strengthen through the legs, press down through the feet, drive the elbows into the sides of the body. This time, pause. Maybe look up towards the sky to find a little bit more length in the front of that neck. Inhale, drive it up. Exhale, tee the arms forward, fold. We're coming all the way back down, top of the head towards the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, find your down dog. So in down dog, we're finding that V shape. Hips are up into the sky. On an inhale, we're gonna float the right leg up to the sky. And as we float the right leg up to the sky, we're gonna draw that right leg through to the top of our mat between our hands, and then come all the way up for a high lunge. As we come up for high lunge, we're reaching through the back left heel, and we're really active all the way into the glute of that back left heel. So for a little easier option, we could take a narrow lunge. If you wanna work on some leg strength today, you might take a wider lunge. We're pushing that knee all the way into all 4 corners of that front foot, and then we're stacked shoulders on hips, really strong here. So we have our strong legs underneath us, and what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna do a little bit of opening up through the hip. So our inhale is gonna take our arms up to float. Exhale, take your right arm down towards the side, and then just a little stretch with your left arm across the body. If you've been here for a couple times before, you notice we're gonna focus on hips a lot because a lot of us are sitting more these days than moving. So pull that left hip up and back, really open up through that hip, continue to drive that front knee over that foot into the ground. You got it. Big breath into that left hip. Inhale, sends us up. We're gonna step the back foot up to meet the front foot, come all the way up to your mat, and then exhale, come into chair pose. So we're gonna take a more gentle chair here. Hands are gonna come down through heart center. Our hips are just slightly behind us, and like we do have support. Again, to make it a little bit more strength, you can come lower. And I want you to feel your weight behind you, so take some pressure out of the knees and the toes, and remain long from the tailbone through the top of the head and the shoulders. Pull your belly button up to that low back again, so you have a really engaged core here. One more breath down here in your strong chair. On an inhale, send it up. Take the arms all the way overhead. Tee the arms, come down forward, fold top of the head towards the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, find down dog. Inhale, float the left leg high. Really strong floating left leg. Send that left leg all the way through to the top of your mat between your hands. And then inhale, walk your hands up the body. Come up for second side lunge. Remembering you can take that high lunge or maybe a stronger low lunge here. You should be able to see your big left toe. That knee is stacked over the ankle. Doing great out there, everybody. Keep it up. Keeping the legs where they are, we're reaching out of the hips, arms overhead. Exhale, take the left arm down, and then a big stretch as we reach that right arm across and over to the other side of the room. Continue to pull that right hip up and back, and just find a lot of breath and care into that area. If you feel a little bit of rumbling in those ankles, acknowledging that this is a balance challenge, so we're also working on a lot of good balance here. Inhale to take the arms up. Exhale, step that back foot up to meet the front foot, and then come down for your second chair. Maybe see if you can find a little bit lower chair. Hips are back. We're gonna come into an eagle pose with our neck standing right, so we're getting ready for eagle legs. Inhale, take it up, arms come overhead, big reach and stretch. Exhale, hinge, come all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, find your down dog. We're gonna do one more standing flow. From here, we're gonna walk our hands towards our feet and our feet towards our hands, somewhere in the middle of our mat. And then we're gonna take our hands, in this forward fold, take your hands towards your hips. And then pretend like your elbows are magnets behind you. Squeeze the elbows together, draw the shoulders back together, and with an inhale, use your back strength to come up. Really strong. And then take the arms overhead, big reach and stretch with the arms. We're gonna take the right arm underneath the left arm for eagle arms. This is, I think Sarah had a request for some more shoulders. So find your eagle arms here standing. Elbows are in front of the shoulders. And from here, let's draw just a few up and down. So inhale up with the shoulders, let the elbows and fingers come all the way up as high as they can. Exhale, draw the elbows back in front of the shoulders. And then again, inhale, take it up. Exhale down, one more just like that. And inhale, send it up, reach and stretch. Exhale as it comes down, let the hips follow, find your chair. And then we're gonna peel that right heel off the ground and start to cross that right leg over. You can find a figure four or maybe eagle legs, double bind with the top of that foot behind the calf. So lots of different options. And as we sit down into our true eagle pose, we're gonna try to remain nice and long in our torso rather than coming forward to make those binds. So we're super low here. You can keep that right foot down as a kickstand versus allowing the bind to happen. This is still a really good option. So really pausing in any of these shapes we take where it feels most supported and challenged for you. One more breath in your eagle. Exhale, undo the legs. Send both feet into the floor strong, and then inhale, take it up. Release the arms, big stretch up. Exhale, take left arm underneath. So opposite arm underneath. 3 times we're gonna open up through the shoulders. Inhale, take it up, look towards the ceiling. Trace the fingers, the forearms up. Exhale, bring them down in front of you. 2 more just like that. Take the gaze with you up towards the ceiling. Press through the feet, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, take it down. 1 more. Inhale, take it up. This time we're coming down into our chair pose, and we're peeling the left heel off, finding a kickstand with left heel or finding a bind of choice, pausing where it feels most supported, challenged, and just being really gracious with ourselves. If we fall out, if we have a little bit of a eagle flying away, the legs taking off, that's okay. Laugh at yourself and just try again. A few more breaths in this strong, squeeze everything into center, very grounded, held position. With an exhale, start to release the bind with the legs. Draw the feet strongly in together towards the floor. Take the arms up, release and stretch. Arms are gonna come behind. From here, we're gonna do 1 more opener. So you can find an interlace of the fingers and push the palms out. You might find wrists, forearms, or elbows. And where we're going from here is we're gonna tuck the chin towards the chest, slowly make our way down into our forward fold. With any of those options that work for you, letting the arms hang heavy behind us. And just hanging out here in our last forward fold of the day, really stretching through those shoulders. And again, giving yourself permission to change up the bind. If the bind's not necessarily working for you or you want to try something else, give yourself permission to do that. Gently on an exhale, release the bind, let the arms come to dangle at the sides. Arms are dangling at the sides. And then from here, we're gonna walk our hands and our feet out, find our down dog. 1 last down dog today. Hips are up to the sky. Really reach the hips as high as possible. And at the same time, ground through the hands and the feet. So you're super grounded into the feet, into the hands. The hips are up strongly. Lots of length from the arms, shoulders, into the upper, lower back, down through the back of the legs. Really strong, grounded, supported position. Feel the strength of the body, the breath of the moving through the body. And on an exhale, we're gonna go ahead and take the right leg up to fly. We're gonna bring that right leg through for pigeon pose. So knee and ankle are coming up towards the hands. And if you would like to take a reclined pigeon, that's okay, I'll show that in a second. So as we come into pigeon pose, we're gonna keep our kickstands down to help, and then we're gonna really breathe into this right hip. If you wanna come into a sleeping pigeon, you could come down. If this shape is not working for you, which it is very challenging, so really give yourself permission to take a reclined pigeon, right leg over left, and then draw the arms through and come onto your back. Same stretch, we're really breathing into that right hip. So lots of options. The goal is to breathe into the right hip. And if you're in any of these shapes, feel free to close your eyes and just thinking about breathing in to all of the spaces in that area that you feel the stretch. Wherever you're at, we're gonna transition to second side. So we're gonna tuck the toes behind us if you're in pigeon, press through the palms, and then float that right leg up and back behind you. Option to take a scorpion dog here. So you're gonna stack your right hip over left, and you're gonna breathe through the front of that right hip. And if you don't, and I'm not doing it, so if you don't know what that is, just breathe through the front of your hip. You got it. I know most of you have been in class before, so you probably know. And then exhale, float the right leg down. We're gonna move to second side. So picking again, traditional pigeon going into sleeping or maybe on our backs, float that left leg up, bring it through to the top of your mat, maybe transition onto your back. And then just take about a minute to breathe into this second side and just acknowledge that it's okay if it feels different than the first. What you're doing now is taking care of this part of your body and your mind, and that's all that matters. When you're ready to start transitioning, we'll tuck the toes behind us. We'll press through the palms and we'll inhale to let the hips fly. Three-legged dog, float that leg behind you, maybe stack for scorpion dog, opening up through that left side body. And we're gonna start to make our way to our down dog to transition to take our knees down and then come onto our backs. So as we make our way to our backs, you wanna grab some socks or extra clothing. We're just gonna take a twist first and second side and then come into a minute Shavasana. So as we come onto our backs, let's first get a happy baby pose. So first and second fingers around the big toes are opposite of the blade edges of our feet. And then our knees come into our armpit area. And we're just rocking side to side on that low back. Such a playful pose. Feel free to give yourself some smiles here. Tuck your chin. Feel the length in the back of that neck, the upper shoulders. And then release the feet to bring the knees together at the chest. And as the knees are together at the chest, we're gonna cross the right leg over the left. And then we're gonna take a twist off to your left. So you're gonna let that leg come all the way to your left. And if this is a little bit too much for you, you can find stacked legs over to the left. So we're taking some more care into that right hip, really planting that right foot down, letting the gaze be up towards center or over to your right. On an inhale, brace through the arms, take the legs back up, untangle the legs, bring both knees into the chest. We'll go second stride, cross the left over the right, take the arms into a T, and then take the legs over to the right side, pressing the left foot into the ground, opening up that top leg away from you, and then breathing into the left hip. On an inhale, take the legs up and over, untangle the legs, give yourself one more little hug. And then we'll take this hug and we'll rock up into a seated Shavasana for 1 minute. So as we come up to a seated position, feel free to change the shape of where your legs are at. And we're just gonna close our eyes for just 1 minute of silence and just thinking about our breath and acknowledging your effort into remain into your body, into this space and this time for your own self-care. Just breathe in and out through the nose. Gently start to open your eyes if you haven't already. We'll take one more blinking movement with breath together to end our practice. Taking your arms wherever they want to go with your breath, reaching up, big inhale. Exhale, take your hands through heart center. Thank you so much for making the time for yourselves to be here. It's been an honor to hang out with you through Zoom and practice together today. See you on the mat very soon, friends. Namaste.